I think about that day I met him at a Greyhound station west of Santa Fe. We were 17, but he was sweet and it was true. Still I knew what I had to do. Yes, I just knew. Summer Sunday night, we'd sink down on the seats just as they dimmed out all the lights. A technicolor world made out of music and machine. It called me to be on that screen and live inside each scene without a nickel to my name. Hop to bus, here I came. Could be brave or just insane. We'll have to see. Maybe in that sleepy town, sit one day, lights are down, he'll see my face and think of how he used to know me. Climb these hills, I'm reaching for the heights. Okay, that's enough. That was actually the third time I've ever done that, because the first two times I fucked up somehow, so my voice is a little bit hoarse, but I just like singing, and I wanted to demonstrate how my singing voice has gotten lower, which is awesome! It's the best part of tea for me, easily. So anyway, I'm going to try and make this short because I don't actually know how much space I have on my phone. I'm going to just talk briefly about what's been up since my last tea vlog. I don't actually know how many months it's been since I've been on tea. I will have to put it in the title because I didn't figure it out right now, but it'll be in the title, so you'll know by looking down there. It's probably like 5 or 6 months or something. But I did take another break after my last vlog when I was in Hong Kong. I actually took another break for a few weeks, mostly because it was kind of like a bit of a pain to do it while I was over there. Like, my routine was different, and usually what I do when I'm over here at home is I will take a shower or a bath or whatever, and then I'll get the tea gel and I'll smear it all over myself, and then I'll just sit naked or shirtless on my bed until it dries out, because if you don't wait for it to dry and you put your t-shirt on, then it gets all squidgy and horrible and it all gets absorbed into the fabric, which is not what you want. You obviously want it to like be in your body. So obviously I can't do that while I'm around people, so I wasn't gonna like do that while I was staying at my mum's house. So yeah, so I kind of took a break, but it's not a big deal because I'm now back on it after I came back, and people said that my voice hadn't like dropped even further anyway since the last time they saw me. So obviously, like, even though I did take a break, there was still some effects that were being had, which is cool. So the only things that I really noticed were that after I went on my break, the horniness kind of went away. Didn't really feel the need to have a wank every day anymore. But now that I'm back on it, it sort of came back about a week after I went back on it, so that's definitely linked. It's interesting though, because apparently you're supposed to notice 3 H's when you go on testosterone, and the 3 H's are 1, horniness, 2, heat, and 3, hunger. And I've obviously noticed the horniness, but for the heat and the hunger, I really haven't noticed anything like that at all. And I don't know whether that's like, I don't know what that is. Like, maybe it just varies from person to person, which is probably what's the case there. But yeah, so I haven't really noticed anything like that. Any other differences that I've noticed? Not really. I still have the same amount of pathetic, like, slight hairs trying to grow in that I occasionally shave off because they just look so terrible. They look like a teenager's first attempt at a mustache, which is what they kind of are. My face still kind of looks the same, really. At least to me, I always look in the mirror the same way, so, you know, maybe to someone who hasn't seen me in a while it might be different, I don't know. My body fat distribution, pretty much the same. What I'm really hoping for is that I'm hoping that the tea reduces the size of my chest a little bit because of like fat distribution and stuff like that. But the problem with that obviously is not going on it very regularly, because I keep taking breaks. I'm not very good at this. So that's obviously not going to help with the fat redistribution and stuff like that, because that's something that really only happens after a long, extended period of time on it. So that being said, at the moment I still prefer that being on the gel, because it gives me more control, which is why I went for it the first time. And being able to sort of take breaks, I think, is quite. It is an option that I like to have, because I like to just sort of take things at my own slow pace. And the first break I took, obviously, was because I wasn't 100%. My voice was dropping, and I didn't really recognize myself anymore in it. So I wanted to take a break until I could get accustomed to it, which I have done. And now, even though my voice is getting a bit lower, I'm no longer getting the sort of feeling of oh my god, my voice is different, what's going on? So I'm kind of got past that first hurdle, I guess. It wasn't oh shit, I regret everything. It was just kind of oh, this is really weird, because I think obviously when you're a teenager and you're going through your first puberty, your identity is still in flux, so things are changing, everything's changing, you're just kind of used to change. You're everything's changing, this is changing as well, it's a changey thing. But now that I'm an adult, things are changing, I'm kind of that should not be changing. What is going on? My identity, I know what my identity is, mostly. I know this, and this, and this, and now suddenly this huge part of my identity, which is my voice, because I obviously love talking, as anyone has probably figured out by now, that's changing as well, and it's oh my god, what the frick is going on here? So it was just kind of a moment of not being accustomed to it, really. That was kind of what it was. But I think after that, I've kind of got to the point where I'm kind of a bit less bothered about that kind of stuff. There hasn't really been any increase in downstairs growth since the first spurt. It was basically, it all happened in the beginning, and then that was kind of it. I know you can pump and stuff like that to try and increase it, or maybe that's something that you were supposed to do when you first got on it, I don't know. But I hadn't really been bothered. I don't know if I'll do it in the future or something, but at the moment I'm just kind of meh. There's things that I think about a lot more than my bits. For one thing, my voice was the thing that kind of gave me the most dysphoria, really. My voice and my chest. And obviously with your chest you can kind of put the binder on and try to forget about it a little bit. But the voice you can't really, and it was kind of every time I opened my mouth I was not passing, and it was it was really horrible. And now when I open my mouth, most of the time I pass. There's still a couple of moments where I don't pass, which is a bit confusing to me. I'm not entirely sure why that's happening. Maybe I just seem like a butch lesbian with a very low voice, I don't know. Or maybe my voice hasn't really got to the point yet where it's outside of the range of low female, I don't know. But yeah, at the moment I am passing most of the time, which is really cool. But there is a couple of moments where I'm why this? But my voice obviously has gotten lower, and people say, supposedly, that it is now a little bit sexy, and it is quite soothing, which is freaking awesome. And they said that, someone said to me the other day that they'd be totally happy to listen to me read out an audiobook, so who knows, maybe I've got a future career in audiobooks, that would be cool. And I've been wanting to get into voice stuff for a long time, and part of the sort of thing about having a public persona on the internet where you're using your voice and you're using your face is that it really opens you up to a lot of transphobic comments if you don't pass. And obviously there are people out there who are super brave and just I 100% admire them, being able to just go out and do everything as a non-passing trans person and just do totally amazingly. But these days I mean I used to be stealth, but these days I I don't hide it, but I don't proclaim it either. It was kind of being a pain hiding it because, like, whenever someone would bring up trans issues, I would obviously be like, I want to weigh in on that, but instead I would have to be like, I have many trans friends and stuff like that. Like, so I'm glad that I don't hide it anymore, but at the same time, I don't go out there and I'm like, by the way, I'm trans. Like, I'm not doing things and going, BT dubs as a trans person, blah 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 blah. So people who do that are really, like, I admire them so much, but I don't think my mental health would really be able to stand up to all the transphobic comments that I might get. I mean, I had a couple of nightmares about this actually, like not recently, but like, you know, during the course of my lifetime, I've had like a couple of nightmares where I would go and I'd be like a YouTuber or something, and then I'd just get loads of transphobic comments, and it just was not a fun nightmare to have. It was just, you know, so being as like a public persona outside of just text based, where obviously no one can tell what you really look like, I kind of really wanted to get to a point where I not only felt comfortable in myself, but other people would perceive me as my gender. So obviously that's not a choice ideally that we would have to make in this society, but it being a cis-sexist society is kind of something that you unfortunately have to put up with. So the voice stuff has been really cool. I've been doing a few Let's Plays. I did a few over the last like 5 years. I've done like a few here and there, but I've never really like gotten into it properly because I would do them and then I'd listen to them and I'd be like, oh, my voice is like, you know, I don't really like it. I'm very dysphoric, and so I'd sort of do them and I'd sort of like hide them away a little bit and like not really like. I'm like maybe show a couple of friends, and that was like kind of it. And then since my voice has dropped to the point where like I now pass pretty well, I'm just kind of like, heck yes, and I'm like getting into all the stuff where I can put my face in, because my face has always passed fairly well, even regardless of like masculinization or whatever from testosterone. It's mostly been my voice. I can put my face in, like a little face cam, put my voice in, like do a little let's play or whatever, and I fucking love it. Like I fucking love it. Like I am one of those people who is I'm a bit of an oddity because I am not an extrovert, even though some people think I am. I am quite introverted, but I also love to like. I don't know if I would say I love to entertain, because that seems to create a different like perception of myself than I'm really thinking of. But it's like I love to talk and I love to be heard and I love to just discuss things and ramble on about things and and I also love like acting and voice acting and stuff like that. So sorry about that, guys. I ran out of memory on my phone, so I need to wrap this up quickly. Like I was saying in my previous part, I really like voice acting and stuff like that. So being able to have a voice where I can actually do that and put it out there and not be afraid of like transphobic comments is really awesome. So yeah, I think that's about everything that I really have to say. There's not really much else that's happened in regards to transition. Mostly it's just been my voice really, and yeah, so that's it. So I will catch you all later. I'll probably do another video in like a month's time or something like that, hoping that anything has changed at all. If nothing has changed, obviously there's not really much to say, but I'll probably make it anyway, just in case my voice has dropped, I guess. Sorry about the singing introduction. I've been singing my butt off because I love my new singing range. I know I was going to keep this short, but I went to a trans-related singing event like months and months ago, and we were sorted into our singing groups, alto, soprano, stuff like that. And when I was in school choir, I was in an alto because that's like the lower range of female. But once we started singing, the person who's actually running the group said that I kept trying to sing in tenor, so she moved me over to tenor because she was like, it seems like your voice keeps trying to go into tenor, and I was like, this explains so much. So yeah, so I don't know much about singing, but like hopefully my vocal range finally matches up with what my brain has always been trying to do ever since I was a wee thing. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. Sorry about the vacuum. And I will see you all guys later. Bye.